I want to talk today about wisdom from our history. And I have to admit that when I was a child and I heard the word history, my energy level immediately started to go down because it always referred to a class that I needed to take, usually by the most boring teacher in the school, usually using materials that I could not see any earthly way in which it applied to me. And so that isn't that kind of history, okay? What history is really the story of us as a community, a spiritual community, and the context in which we thrive and grow. I want to first state that, and this is going further back in history, I want to give thanks and honor to the Miwok people. We are on the land of the first peoples, the Miwok tribe of Northern California. I want us to honor them. If we could just take a moment of silence to lift them up in prayer, to give thanks for the Miwok people, and to give thanks for the opportunity to bring justice and accountability in our day. Thank you. So we come here out of a context. In the 1700s, invaders came, and some say explorers, but invaders came, and a lot of the Miwok tribe was decimated by disease that these people brought and by abuse and violence that occurred. So you want to honor those people. Later on, this area became a military base, Hamilton Field, right? A number of you may remember when it was Hamilton Field. I was talking to someone that I've gotten to know through our Getting Real with Race class. You're probably watching Shift. Shift, as a young child in a military, in a family that was close by, was brought on a regular basis to this church when it was a military base. And he's now reconnected with us. So this building was purchased, was renovated, and what metaphysically can we learn from all of this? You know, recently I gave an assignment for you to think about, and that is to give a metaphysical interpretation to your own life. The historical events in your life, the relationships, the things that have happened in your life, what metaphysically do you learn from those things? What do those events tell you in a larger picture, in a meta picture about what your life is really about? Thinking that we are here on this land of the Miwok, I'm thinking first of all that Unity in Marin is here to bring inclusion and to be invitational. We are here to heal. We are here to heal injustice. We are here to heal when people have been hurt in some way. We should learn from the events that transpired before Unity in Marin was ever here, that we are here for such a time as this to include all people, Black, Latinx, Muslim, Baha'i, Jewish, Republican, Democrat, Socialist, Independent, Communistic, Anarchist. We're here for all people. Our second greatest principle in unity teaching is that each and every one of us is the presence of God. That each and every one of us, if you will, is this package that contains the presence of God and is bringing the presence of God to this world. Every person, without exception, is that, at least in potential. They may or may not be aware of it. They may or may not be aligned with that presence of God. But each and every person is the presence of God. So when we see any particular race, any particular class, any particular faith group that is being discriminated against, when we see systemic racism, we know, based on unity principles, this is unity principles, come on now, that we are here to bring healing in humanity. And our fifth greatest principle is we don't just believe in affirmations, we don't just believe in these principles, we act on them. It is imperative for us who are in the unity lineage and unity teachings and principles that to adhere to that means to be active in our world, to bring reconciliation, to bring healing. I want to be a part of a church like that. And this is a church like that. We are here to be inclusive and invitational. Secondly, we're here to be inspirational. We've had lots of inspirational teachers. Many teachers. And I'm just getting to know who some of them were. People like Betty White and people like Janice Campbell and Reverend Medora Gordon and many different teachers and wonderful leaders. Back in, was it 1964, Bonnie, in November, Reverend Candida Wright, Candy, began working with people out of her living room. First of all, it was starting in what's it called? The Knights of Columbus is the way it started, right? Knights of Columbus, no? Anyway, in the living room. It started in the living room. Okay. So Candida Wright started in the living room, evolved to going to some of these public spaces. And I have heard, one of the comments I've heard about Reverend Candy Wright is that she could just hold the presence. That she would hold that presence. And if you go back to these tables after the service, you can see where she was ordained. You can see some historical pictures. Back in the narthex, we will have a TV where we are showing, clips of Richard Manti, Reverend Richard Manti, who came after Candy and helped in funding and facilitating this based on the legacy gift of Candida Wright. She left all of her estate to help build this place. Think about that. Where do you want to invest your time, your talent, your treasure? Where do you want to invest that in a way that can touch people's lives, that can bring healing, that can bring transformation? So Reverend Richard Manti helped to continue that work of transformation. And then Reverend Bill Engelhardt. Reverend Bill Engelhardt brought wonderful teaching and programming. And while Richard Manti was here, he needed help in setting up programming. And so he hired Reverend Medora Gordon. Medora has been here for a number of years, establishing programs, establishing classes, doing so much work behind the scenes. After the service, after the service today, here in the sanctuary up on the big screen, we will have my interview with Reverend Bill Engelhardt. And it's about 30 minutes long. We're going to show a couple of short clips from that today. But after Reverend Bill Engelhardt was here, then Reverend Medora Gordon became the acting senior minister, and then I came. It's such an honor. It's such an honor to be here at a place that exists to be inclusive and invitational, at a place that exists to be inspirational. We are here to be alarm clocks. We are here to help wake each other up. We are here to help each other to transform into something amazing. Now, in my interview with Reverend Bill, we talked about a lot of different topics. We talked about the beginning of the Hamilton Montessori School with the help of Dr. Cindy Acker and Sarah LaValle. We talked about how he was building the live streaming program, and I was so happy to tell him. I said, Bill, I am so grateful that you helped build this live streaming. I told him during this last year when we couldn't meet in person, we actually doubled in attendance online, and thank you. So we're going to see a little bit of a clip. It's a fun interview with Bill because, he basically said, and he's quoting from Richard Manti, who said that being a minister entails work and energy that no one else could understand unless they've done it. You just have to take my word for it. There's nothing quite like it. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I am very, very grateful to do it, and it takes a lot to do it. Right, Medora? Yeah. But it's also fun. So I'm going to have us play just a little clip of Bill and I talking, and this clip has to do with some of the fun, okay? So let's see this clip if we could, yeah. So recently, I've gotten lots of remarks from people of how this community has healed them. So again, I thank you for your leadership, for how you helped to build that, how you helped to build that online, and help to really build this place that cares for one another. And by your teaching, your talks, your leadership, your example, you help contribute a great deal to this community that continues, as some people tell me, save their lives. Save their lives in terms of finding spiritual principles and that deep sense of community and love that is expressed to one another. Now, before we started recording, you were telling me some things that Richard Manti was saying, and that there's no way that anybody could really understand what all a minister is doing or experiences or necessarily goes through, because so much of it is behind the scenes, unless you've actually done it. And so we've talked about a lot of accomplishments, and obviously it's a lot of work, but what are some of your favorite memories here, or what are some of the funniest memories? Either one, because it's fun too. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's also fun. At least I hope it was for you at times.
I tell people it was the most challenging work I've ever done in my life, and it
Right.
was the most rewarding work I'd ever done in my life. I mean, both of those things coming together. And there were times, a lot of funny moments. I remember I was giving a talk once, and I'm up on the platform, and I'm speaking, and all of a sudden I see all the people in the congregation going like this, going back and forth, like there's a tennis match going on behind me. And I'm like wondering, well, I don't know what's going on here. And so finally I realized there's a horsefly around my head. Right? And, I'm just like, what are you going to do?
You're being upstaged.
I was being
Yes.
upstaged by a fly. Right? Totally engrossed. It was hilarious. And so I just reach up, in a million shot, I caught it.
Did you really?
I caught it. And the whole thing was like stunned, right? And I was talking like it's no big deal.
Right.
But then I'm thinking, as a minister, you'll appreciate this. And what am I going to do with this? If I kill it, that's not going to look very ministerial.
Right.
If I go slam on the platform. So I'm thinking, and I'm talking, and they're just like jaws open. So I get off the stage, and there's the side door.
Right.
I just open the side door and let it out, and I come back in, and the whole place goes up for grabs.
That's great.
They're howling, and it's it's hilarious.
I love it.
And I'm in the line. This is the end of the second service, and a guy comes through. I kid you not. I thought he was joking. He said, "Did you do that in the first service too?" I was pulling my leg. I'm like, oh yeah.
You have a trained horsefly.
That's what I thought. I said, yeah, that's my pet fly.
So online, you'll be able to watch this whole interview after the service, if you would like. And those of you who are here, you can watch it here in the sanctuary. We had a great time just talking. And so Unity in Marin exists to be inclusive and invitational. It exists to be inspirational, to inspire us to transformation. And Unity in Marin is here to be imaginative and innovative. We're not here to just replicate what we've done in the past. Yes, there's many things that we have done in the past that continue to work and to serve us. The classes that we have had here and a lot of the smaller groups. But we're in a new time. We're in a very new time. We're in a time where more and more people are live streaming, including in classes. So in the future, we will be developing more and more online educational opportunities and spiritual experiences online. And we're going to be building a hybrid of in-person, online, simultaneously, where those who are there physically in person are responding and interacting live with those who are live streaming. Yeah? Now some of you are going, whoa, how do you do that? We'll be describing in just a few weeks more about that and some exciting things that we're going to be doing here. We need to reinvent ourselves to meet the needs of our world. We need to be available for social action. I know in Unity, there is this tendency to think, well, our job is to affirm and to pray, but not to actually get out there and do something. I don't believe that's prayer. I believe that real prayer moves our feet. So we are here to be in the world in new and innovative and imaginative ways. We are here to meet the needs for transformation in our world. People are longing for this message of transformation. They want to be able to transform their lives. Unity has tools to help people to shift and to transform their lives. We want to engage with people all over the world to be able to do that. We have online viewers from Brazil and India and the UK, all over the world. We need ways that we can interact with people online and have classes in person as well. We are going to continue to innovate, and this is part of our strategic plan that the board and I have been working on. We are also going to be building a platform. This is an online platform for other New Thought speakers, teachers, New Thought churches to collaborate and work together. We've been doing that. Yeah. We've been doing that with our Absolute Abundance classes, collaborating with Unity San Francisco. And that tie is getting stronger and stronger. We believe that we are stronger together. Unity in Marin is not in competition with anybody. We are here to work with others. We are here to work with other faith groups. We are here to work with faith groups that are very different from our own. We are here to work together to bring transformation, healing, and unity among people of the world. So that's some of what we learn from our history. That's some of the wisdom from our history that we continue to innovate. Just as Candy Wright was innovating by having services in her living room, and then Richard Manti was innovating by helping us to get this facility, and then Reverend Bill was innovating by getting the live streaming going. Reverend Medora was innovating by developing new programming and educational transformative experiences. We continue to do that. I'm in a class that meets every 2 weeks with the board of Unity Worldwide Ministries. We have a coach and we have facilitators who work with us on issues regarding race and equity. And so we do this book study and we go into all kinds of deep stuff. And it's not always easy. You know, Jesus said, the truth, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But he never said, the truth will make you comfortable. I want that to sink in. The facilitator of this class that I'm taking on dismantling racism, and I had a long, extended one-on-one conversation, and we were talking about that whole issue of safety, that sometimes people who are white will get defensive if they are sometimes challenged in some of the words that they say or some of the perceptions that they have, or discounting people of color's experience. And yet I feel quite safe in that process. And the facilitator asked me, what is it, Tim, that helps you to feel safe? I said, what feels unsafe to me is when I am not growing. What feels unsafe to me is when I am just in the status quo and in denial. That is what is unsafe. We are being called as a community, as a congregation, to step into some new areas, to step into some new challenges. We've been through a challenge this last year. But we are safe because we are the presence of God in action. The universe is backing us up. We have the presence and power of Spirit propelling us forward, and we can face those challenges. We can look at our blind spots. We can look at those areas in which we need to engage in this world. We are here for growth. Growth is another word for transformation. And transformation and growth do not occur by doing the same thing we've always done. So we will be stepping into some new territories. I want to celebrate and give thanks for our history, knowing that our history propels us forward to step into even greater expressions of the presence of God as us. Thank you. So I'd like for you to repeat after me. You ready? All right, take a deep breath. I want you to say this with gusto. All right, repeat after me. I am inclusive. I am invitational. I am inspirational. I am imaginative. I am innovative. I am the presence of God in action. Deal with it.